A Miami federal judge has ordered the closure of Alligator Alcatraz within 60 days, a migrant detention center with a cynically racist name. It is important to give credit where credit is due. It is because of the Miccosukee tribe and environmental groups that this happened, but initially, all of the praise was being given to Judge Kathleen Williams, highlighting how easily and quickly whiteness takes center stage when it's indigenous peoples doing the heavy lifting. The Miccosukee tribe and environmental groups filed a lawsuit that the facility disrupted tribal lands, contaminated water supplies, and blocked public access to culturally important areas. It was built without legally required environmental inspection, tribal consultation, and threatened sacred lands and wildlife, which violated the National Environmental Policy Act. Florida's incompetent, racist, and Zionist Republican Governor Ron DeSantis helped Florida sign $405 million of taxpayer money and contracts to build a poorly constructed facility at an airport in the remote area of the Florida Everglades. The facility was built in just a few days, with chain-link cages surrounding large white tents filled with rows of bunk beds, hardly suitable for humans. And yet, President Donald Trump suggested it could be a model for future deportation centers across the nation, as his administration intends to expand the infrastructure needed to increase deportations. Unfortunately, this is not the end for deportation centers in Florida, despite this massive setback and a major win for indigenous nations and activists. DeSantis' administration is preparing to open a second immigration detention center and plans to name it Deportation Depot at a state prison in North Florida. 22 other xenophobic Republican-led states urged the federal court to overturn the order. These states argued in another court filing that the Florida judge overstepped her authority and that the federal environmental laws only apply to federal agencies, not the state of Florida. But civil rights groups aren't backing down either. They filed a second lawsuit in July against the state and federal governments over practices at Alligator Alcatraz, claiming detainees were denied access to the legal system. A third lawsuit was filed in August that described severe problems at the facility, which were previously unheard of in the immigration system. Republicans are determined to continue terrorizing and separating families, and civil rights groups and indigenous nations are ready to keep showing up for people and planet.